The members of the Irish rock band U2 have always believed that their group was about something more than making records and playing concerts. The themes of their music, often about social injustice, ranging from the American Civil Rights Movement to genocide in Bosnia, have helped them sell over 130 million albums around the world and gross nearly $1 billion on the concert trail. And offstage, their lead singer, known by his teenage nickname Bono, is equally impressive. His political activism, working to help erase third world debt and supplying Africa with AIDS drugs, has made him a political force. Tonight, we'll look at U2 and the double life of their lead singer.
I need the music more than I need politics or activism, I can assure you of that.
Still want to be the best band in the world?
Still want. Line them up. Line them up.
This was the scene in Milan, Italy last summer, midway through a year-long sold-out tour of the world's largest stadiums and arenas. After 25 years of touring, most critics say they are as good today as they've ever been.
It's only rock and roll where people are burnt out at 40. I want to see what can happen with a band if they keep their integrity, keep their commitment to each other, and can we create extraordinary music? You know, what would have happened, and I'm not making a comparison because I don't feel worthy to touch their hem, but what would have happened if the Beatles lived and didn't, you know, disappear up their own arses, but actually stayed in contact with the world, were awake, didn't let their money buy them off. You know, I'm still hungry. I still want a lot out of music. Still haven't found what I'm looking for.
You say when people are screaming at a concert, it's not about you, it's about them.
In a funny way, that's right. It's unexplainable what a song means to you. Because remember, songs, it's not like a movie you see once or twice. A song, it gets under your skin. And that's why we abandon ourselves to it. It has a sense of kind of uplift, getting airborne. Everything feels possible, and maybe more things are possible than we think.
And at every concert, the band tries to make that happen. Before the show, fans are asked to join a campaign to help end world poverty. And during the performance, Bono sings of social justice and argues for religious harmony.
Jesus, Jew, Muhammad, it's true, all sons of Abraham.
Bono's passions are shared and supported by the band. Drummer Larry Mullen Jr., bassist Adam Clayton, and the guitarist who calls himself The Edge. People who are coming to your shows come for a lot of reasons. Some, you know, it's a good night out. Some, it's an escape. But I always have the feeling that what you guys do on stage is much more serious. It is all of that, but it's also much more serious than that.
I think early on, you know, the heroes that we had were people like Bob Marley, John Lennon, The Clash, and those bands all had the same combination of rock and roll, the rage, railing against injustice, and the politics, and we connected with that in a major way.
April 4, shot rings out in the Memphis sky. Through your glass, they took your life, they could not take your pride.
The four of them formed their bond and their politics as teenagers in Dublin, Ireland. Larry Mullen wanted to start a band to play in pubs. Instead, he got one intent to take on the world. And did being Irish have anything to do with shaping the band's social, political concerns?
Yeah, I mean, we lived, you know, all our lives with the terrorist situation in Northern Ireland and with the British Army, and seeing that on the news night after night, atrocity after atrocity. But more than anything else, and for the British folks, Irish people were all terrorists. So when we went to Britain, there was always a lot of resistance to you two, and that's why we came to America.
That was 1980. American music fans embraced them. By 1987, following their masterwork album, The Joshua Tree, critics began to call them the biggest rock band in the world. Tours and CDs since then, including their latest, have added to their popularity. But along the way, they found another calling, the starving, troubled continent of Africa. The band did their part at the 1985 Live Aid concert. Bono continued on behind the scenes and in front of news cameras to lobby world leaders to action. There was a line I read that you said that I thought I really liked. You said, "I'm available to be used, but I'm not a cheap date."
No, I'm not a cheap date. I'm in the checks business, you know, and not just people signing the checks, but people cashing them. And I'm ready to spend my, whatever you want to call it, the currency of my celebrity, if that's what it takes to get there.
He gets a lot of credit for lobbying President Bush. They've met several times. Today, the Bush administration contributes to one of his biggest causes, AIDS medication for Africa.
People